Today I'm going to teach you some geometry vocabulary that's going to help you as you start to do cross sections, volumes, and surface area. I'm going to go over the difference between a radius and a diameter, talk about what a face, edge, and vertex is, and how we name shapes. I'm going to start with diameter and radius, and these are terms you find when we deal with shapes that have circles. So a diameter is the line that goes through the center of a circle and touches both sides. I have a diameter there, but that's not the only diameter that you could have. I could have drawn the diameter this way, or this way, or this way. In other words, as long as I'm going through the center and I'm hitting both sides of the circle, I have a diameter. This is a normal one that we see, and I want to go back to this one as I talk about the radius. What is a radius? Well, radius is just half a diameter. It's the line that goes from the center of the circle and touches the circle in one place, like this one that you see. So as I just said, the radius is exactly half the size of a diameter. That means a diameter is a radius plus another radius, so 2 radii. Let's see if you understand. If the diameter is 10 centimeters, that's the whole thing from here to here is 10 centimeters. Then how big is the radius? Well, remember, the radius is just half of that. So in this case, the radius would be 5 centimeters. Okay, let's try it again. If the diameter is 16 meters, so again, it's from here to here is 16 meters, all the way across. How big is the radius? Well, remember, the radius is half. Well, what's half of 16? 8, so the radius would be 8 meters. Okay, let's go the other way. What if the radius is 10 meters right here? How much would the diameter be? Remember, the diameter is 2 of these. And so if I have a 10 meter there and I have a 10 meter there, how much do I have altogether? 20 meters would be my diameter. Here's a silly way for me to remember which one is which. Look at the word diameter and the word radius. Which one is the longer word? Diameter. So it has the longer length. Does that help at all? I don't know. Radius is the smaller. It has the smaller length. Next, I want to talk to you about the attributes of 3D shapes. What is a face? What is an edge? What is a vertex? The face is just the flat surface of a shape. And I've highlighted a face on both of those, but they each have more than one face. And I'm going to try to number these, but it's going to be hard to see it because it's hard to do the front and the back and the side. And so I have a 1 for this face, 2 for this face, that's the front, 3 for the side, 4 for the back. And then I have the top and I have the bottom. You know what would be really good is if you had one in front of you that you could actually touch and just feel those 6 faces. How many faces do you think the next one has? Well, if you said 5, you're correct. I've got I've got the bottom one, right? And then it has 4 sides. And again, it's hard to see 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Yeah, I definitely want you to have this in front of you so you can touch it and feel it. An edge is just the line segment where the 2 faces meet. And so I've highlighted those edges. How many edges does the rectangular prism here have? Well, I've showed you 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there more? Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there more? Yep. 9, 10, 11, 12. So it actually has 12 edges. What about this one? How many do you think? Well, let's go for it. I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that one has 8 edges. A vertex is a point where the 3 or more edges intersect. It's just the corners. That's basically what I can say is the corners. And so I'm going to hit all the corners here. How many corners does this shape have? Well, it looks like I just did 8 of them. So it has 8 vertices. What about the next one? How many vertices does it have? Well, I've got the 4 on the bottom. And then I have 1 on top. So that one only has 5. All right, as a review, we have our faces, which are these flat sides. We have our edges, which are basically where 2 faces meet. And then we have a vertex, which is basically the corner of a shape. All right, lastly, I want to talk to you about how we name our shapes. And right now we have two main categories of shapes, prisms and pyramids. A prism has two ends, and we call those ends bases. Let's see if I can highlight some of them. Okay, there you go. Do you see the two ends, what we call the two bases? So that's prisms. Now look at pyramids. How many bases do each of those have? Well, if you said one, you are correct. So a pyramid has one base, and then it comes up to a vertex, a point on top. Can you see the difference between the pyramids and the prisms? I hope so. So these 3D shapes are named for the shape of their bases and their type, whether it's a prism or a pyramid. So look at this first one right here. What is the shape of its base? A triangle. So it's going to be called a triangular prism. Whereas this one, who also has the shape of a triangle for its base, is going to be called a triangular pyramid. All right, let me show you the names of all of these. We'll start on the left-hand side with the prisms. We have a triangular prism, rectangular prism, pentagonal prism, hexagonal prism, and octagonal prism. And again, it's the first name is just the shape of their base. The second name is whether it's a prism or a pyramid. Over here on the right-hand side with the pyramids, I have your triangular pyramid, a square pyramid, might even call that a rectangular pyramid, but I can tell that's a square. And then the last one, because it has a pentagon as the shape of its base, is called a pentagonal pyramid. I have 3 more shapes that you need to know. Do you know these names before I give them to you? Well, here they are. The first one's a cylinder, second one is a cone, and the last one is a sphere. All right. You should have all the information you need now to go be successful with cross sections, volume, and surface area. Go have some fun.